Good afternoon, Robert Scribbler with the OBX wave report, filming south and east at Jeanette's Pier at mostly 1 foot waves with the occasional 2-footer on the sets. The story is much the same up and down the Outer Banks today, with 1, maybe some 2-foot waves, fair to clean conditions. West-southwesterly winds picking up. It was actually super glassy earlier today, and of course these reports brought to you by myself, a local surfer who tries to get in the water every day, both for getting my skills up and to help promote some good causes, including climate action for coastal defense, as well as we'll be linking up with some fundraising efforts to help treat and cure cancer in February. More about that in subsequent wave reports, but very excited to be working for these good causes and to be linking it up with surfing up and down the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks being one of the premier surf locations on the U.S. East Coast, both one of the best places to go surfing and to pick up surf equipment, particularly over at Real Water Sports, which has over 1,500 surfboards in stock. All right, so let's get down to the wave report here today. Looking at data provided by the National Weather Service, the buoy data, the data here at the piers, and also provided by your good wave monitors. Check out your wave monitors, folks. Such an amazing tool that I did not have when I was a kid, and just really something to add to your quiver of knowledge for surfing. And I tell you what, you gotta know what you're doing. I mean, that's actually number one for me in upping my wave count, is knowing the conditions and being able to home in on little sweet spots, especially when days are like today and you're really struggling to find a good ride somewhere. Okay, all right, so for today we've got 1 foot and clean conditions reported from the wave monitors and buoy data. We've got an offshore swell at around 2 feet. So I'll call it 1 to 2 foot if you find a good break, but mostly 1 foot waves. Wow, looking pretty flat right now. Not as much going on here as it was earlier, but maybe this is the lull that we tend to get at around high tide. We've got high tide at about now. In any case, primary swell coming in out of the east-northeast at around 1 foot and 12 seconds. We've also got another swell coming in from the southeast at about 1.2, 1.3 foot and 10 seconds. The south swell is actually pretty decent, even though it's being listed as the secondary swell in some of the observations. We've got west-southwest winds picking up here at about 12 miles per hour. Earlier they were much calmer, so as you can see, there's a little bit of texture on the surface of the water due to those southwesterly winds. Air temperatures right now in the lower to middle 40s, pretty cold. My hand's getting numb holding the camera. Standing in a wetsuit, so partly my own fault. Ocean water temperatures here in Nags Head ranging from 47 to 50 degrees depending on your location. High tide today is about now between noon and 1 p.m. Low tide between 7 and 8 p.m. We've got 1 foot to the occasional 2 foot waves in Rodanthe with semi-glassy conditions. Swell, primary swell coming in out of the east-northeast at 1.1 foot and 12 seconds. Light northwesterly winds, likely going to be shifting around to the southwest as the southwesterly flow kicks in. Air temperatures right now in the range of about 46 degrees. Ocean water temperatures much warmer down there at Rodanthe at 56. And Buxton, 1 foot plus waves and glassy conditions, once again with the occasional 2-footer. Easterly swell coming in at 1.2 foot and 12 seconds. light winds, variable, shifting around to the west-northwest pretty soon here. And we've got 45-degree air temperatures, ocean water temperatures at 61. And last of all at Frisco, 1 foot and glassy. Okay, for today, 1 foot with the occasional 2-footer and glassy to fair with light and variable winds shifting toward the west, southwest, and picking up in the range of about 10 to 15 miles per hour by afternoon. Highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s depending on location. For tomorrow, 1 to 2 foot and clean with 10 to 20 mile per hour west-southwest winds. Highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s once again. The conditions tomorrow and today better than predicted yesterday. So there is, count your small blessings. I guess for today, that's what we've got. Some small blessings here in the form of waves. All right, and for Saturday, strong northwest winds, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Waves picking up to 2 to 5 foot plus. With those strong northwesterly winds, we tend to get some pretty heavy waves. So likely to get pretty heavy on Saturday with choppy conditions, cold air temperatures, highs in the upper 30s, not looking very pleasant for Saturday at all. And on Sunday, north-northwest winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Waves continuing to build with that northwesterly flow. Waves in the range of 3 to 6 foot, choppy and heavy. Highs once again in the upper 30s. Another gnarly day on Sunday. And on Monday, looking pretty nice actually. Sunny, calm, 2 to 4 foot waves, clean conditions, and it is January. We're looking at highs in the mid 40s. So that's about the best you can expect for a Monday in January in the Outer Banks. I'm going to go ahead and walk over to the north side of the pier, give you guys a different perspective, also show you something else that's going on over here. We've got some smoke out here. I don't know if that's cleared up yet. I did see some fire stations. Nope, smoke has, not fire stations, fire engines responding earlier to this smoke. I don't know if this is some kind of a house fire or what, but it looks pretty gnarly. I did want to show you the north break as well, as there's a decent little gravel section here to the north of the pier, and waves have tended to be pretty consistent here in the gravel section, so I did want to show you the gravel section, what I call the gravel section here, to the north of Jeanette's Pier. When it gets small, you get this little lineup, and the swell can tend to line up like this in this little bowl where you can get some small waves that are rideable to semi-rideable. And this is where I got my session earlier today, session number 12 for 2024 for me. And they were small, but was able to pick off both some lefts and some rights. Decent wave count. With the smaller waves, that's I guess the silver lining is you get more of them because you're not having to paddle as much to get to the waves after the rides, so you can up your wave count, although of course the quality of the waves is considerably reduced in the smaller conditions. But in any case, did want to show you guys this other section. Thank you for joining me for this session of the OBX Wave Report, and just as I typically do, I'd like to ask you guys to please do everything you can to help protect our coastlines from the impacts of climate change driven by fossil fuel burning. Man, that fire is looking pretty gnarly. The primary solutions to the climate crisis being the mass deployment of clean energy, and clean energy being wind, water, and solar and electric vehicles. The primary threats to our coastlines and coastal environments from climate crisis driven by fossil fuel burning are rising sea levels, which threaten our homes and the coastal infrastructure, roads, businesses, things like that. The more intense storms driven by rising land and ocean surface heat, which generates more fuel for storms, and that generates in turn more intense storms. And we've seen quite a few more intense storms in the North Atlantic over the past few decades as the ocean temperatures have been rising, so that does present a serious threat to our coastlines. And then we've got also the impacts to the ocean itself, ocean heat waves, which harm sea life, all kinds of sea life, ranging from coral reefs to the fish and other marine creatures that we all rely on in so many ways. And then also the ocean acidification, which is driven by the carbon emissions from fossil fuel burning. Ocean acidification also heavily impacts coral reefs and all your calcareous, meaning your shelled organisms, things like that. So please do everything you can to help speed the deployment of clean energy and help protect our coastlines from the impacts of climate crisis driven by fossil fuel burning. And also, we're going to be looking forward to advocating for donating and supporting Cancer Research Fund. Later on, we'll be talking about that as we get closer to February. Thanks for joining me. Please stay safe, everybody. And hope you guys do find some decent waves today. It is possible. Not amazing, but certainly some waves to be found if you're astute and kind of hone your wave searching skills. And I do hope you guys get wet and catch some good ones. And I will be back with you shortly.